discussed over the past year and a half, probably,
Okay. So just,
which seemed to be what the board was looking for.
but these are project goals. These aren't really town administrator goals.
These are town administrator goals. Why would, I'm confused.
Well,
First of all, the board can outline goals, right? But
Yeah.
the town administrator reports to the board. His goals have to line up with our goals.
correct.
And a lot of those goals don't involve the board doing anything but overseeing that things get done.
Yeah, I agree.
So I think he's
That's-
put that in line perfectly tonight.
Yeah, as project goals, not as operational, like his job, and we've had this discussion prior to this, so I
I think we're
assume.
just talking in
Oh.
different, I don't understand your language.
Well, I assume this came up from the discussions we have had in executive session related to town administrative goals. Is that a true fact?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Then we're definitely talking apples and oranges, because to me, which is great, this is exactly what, I'm happy to see that Greg has captured it this way. It's wonderful to operate for calendar year 2011. Really trying to accomplish these things as project goals is an excellent thing. That's a goal within his town administrator goals. Project goals is one of them. But things like financial management, communication, operations, those to me, those are town administrator goals. Those are the kinds of things I was looking for, to help us kind of wrap up what we're doing for Greg, to wrap up his contract, to wrap up, make sure I understand how all this ties together. And in those goals, out of those three that I just mentioned, another one, fourth, would be project goals. Project goals that are also tied to a strategic plan, what we've set up there. That's how it ties together. So this is great. This is absolutely one step in the goals that I was looking for, to help me understand how this all ties together. And I apologize for delaying this. It's just, I'm new. I haven't gone through it, so I may be seeing things completely different than you guys have seen them before. But this isn't town administrator. I don't look at them as town administrator goals. These are his goal, these are project goals.
Call
This
it
is
whatever
one
you
goal.
want.
All right.
Call it whatever you
I
want.
haven't been part of your discussions in executive session, so I'm in a little bit of a
No,
dark
you have.
place,
I
Selectman Prisco.
feel
If you
bad
wanna
that-
enlighten me, I'm more than happy to
I
listen
will.
to
I will provide you
Please
copies
do.
of stuff that I've
Thank you.
written that, I thought I was getting something different tonight, but that's fine. Maybe
I
it turned out
appreciate
to
your
be-
input then.
This is excellent, though.
Thank you.
This is exactly what we need to have, but it isn't exactly what I was looking for.
What, can I just, Michael, can I just
I
ask?
guess I don't understand. I'm missing something here, Michael, and
Well, we should just cover it in executive session then. But don't take my comments as negative. This is really good.
no, I think, no, I didn't. I'm having difficulty. To me, a set of goals is a set of goals. They're tied to accomplishing something. He's laid them out perfectly. They seem to be quite in line with the goals that the board has set up.
They fall in line with
tightly
our
linked,
strategic
so-
plan. Yes, they are. They're
so-
tightly linked with our strategic plan. Yeah, they are.
So I don't understand.
But his strategic plan is not his job. It's not his whole job. It's not what he does every day. Running this running this town.
Right.
The financial management associated with running this town is a huge, huge part of his job. I didn't read anything associated with how we're gonna manage our town financially through any of this. That should be a goal, right? I mean, it's probably one of the biggest things he deals with every day. He's the CEO of over a $40 million town. So maybe we're having a definition.
You're talking
breakdown.
about, I think you're talking about what I would call as a detail of what his job description is.
No, I'm talking about goals and objectives that he has to seek out. We're gonna give him a 3-year contract. Over that 3-year contract, I think Greg would like to know what it is that this, he's gotta have something kind of set out for him, expectations set for how he's gonna operate. I understand you have a position description, okay? But in a
think-
position description, it doesn't tell you, I'll give you an example. Go ahead, you ask a question, I'll give you an
I
example.
just think what you're getting at comes to light more specifically when we review him on an annual basis. And how he accomplishes those tasks through implementing what he's laid out here.
Perfect. But if he doesn't know what that is, because this doesn't tell him that. So I'll give you an
No,
example.
but I think he gets that on an, this is my opinion,
If
who
he gets
knows?
it on
I
an
could
annual
be-
basis-
I could be all wrong, but I think he gets it when he's reviewed on an annual basis in terms of what we expect of him in terms of his performance of his day-to-day duties and obligations.
Okay, where's that written? That's, I've been
Where is
asking. Yeah, where's that written?
There's
It's-
an annual-
You don't use this, right, to do his annual evaluation?
Isn't it?
No, we
This
have
is
an
a
annual.
portion of it, I
Didn't you
would assume.
participate in his most recent evaluation?
No, it was before me.
It was
No,
before
no,
you.
no,
I'm sorry,
no,
okay. I thought you
He
sat around
gets
for
his
one.
shot coming up.
Oh, okay, you haven't had an opportunity yet.
No,
Okay,
and that's
all right,
why
I think
my-
that maybe,
At my last meeting, you guys said Greg has goals that he gives to you guys every year. I said, can I get a copy of those goals? I had asked you for a copy of those goals, and then we got this, which is wonderful. It's project goals. But I was looking for things, when you build goals and objectives for your CEOs or your administration, your leadership, I wrote up and sent you guys what I thought I was going to get, right? Rather than try to explain it, I took time, sent you guys all a two-page paper with what I would say, this is what I'm looking for. Tell me if I'm all wet, tell me if I'm thinking wrong, and no one disagreed with me. And then you said, you took the action that you were gonna get me the goals, and then we got this, which is fine. But if you look at it,
I guess I don't know what you want, Michael, okay? I
Bob,
interpreted.
I sent you
I
a
interpreted.
two-page paper outlining exactly what I was thinking I was going to get, to make it as easy as I possibly can, so I can tie all this together. Okay,
Well,
you
I'm
remember, you've
sorry.
been here for well over 10 years.
I'm sorry, Michael, but I don't get it, okay? I guess I haven't been here long enough to get it.
Okay. You want me to take a second to read you an example, so you could try to understand it all?
Sure, be my
Okay.
guest.
An objective, a goal and an objective for a town administrator. Number one, I have written down here, financial management. Town administrator provides leadership, timely updates, and pertinent advice on financial matters. Gives effective assistance to the Board of Selectmen and the other committees as appropriate. Promotes coordination and cooperation among the town's financial departments, and develops capital and operating budgets in line with the sound municipal practice and the town's bylaws. That is a goal. That's what he has to do 2012, FY 2012, 13, and 14. For the next 3 years of his contract, that's one of his goals. And then below it are the objectives associated with it, Bob.
I guess
Executes a
I
well-organized
call-
budget.
I call that part of his job description,
Okay.
I'm sorry. We just live in two foreign countries,
Okay,
you know?
then we can just, because to me, that's fine. Well, let's move on then.
It just, in relation to what you just read, as part of what he presented this evening, it touches on all of that. Whether it be the collective bargaining, whether it be health insurance, whether it be technology, whether it be coordinating for regionalization, whether it be talking and coordinating with the school department.
Mhm.
to deliver- All of that touches on
Absolutely
What-
right.
what you said
How he
right
gets
there.
that job done, that's
how he gets
true.
that done.
But he has a specific objective in here, okay? Employee benefit changes, those are specific objectives, okay? Technology, putting the ITAC together, that's a specific objective. But how Greg runs and goes about his business every single day, you need to give, to me, this is the way I've always done it, it's always the way I've looked at it, and it seemed to work out pretty good, is you build some goals and objectives. So now, me, as a Board of Selectmen, I have a clear understanding of how he gets his job done every day. Because when I read his contract, I don't see that, because the position description's not written in it. I don't see it. You guys talk about an evaluation process, and you also told me, Greg has goals. All I asked the question was, can I see them? And I've never seen them. And so if this is what you guys said he's had in his past tied to his contract before, then just say, yes, Mike, this is it. If it isn't, then show me what it was. Because you guys brought it up that they exist. I didn't.
I think you need to.
Goals change every year.
We need to.
I
we
agree-
need
I
to
don't
forward
disagree.
Michael- We need to forward, Michael, the annual evaluation, which we'll be undertaking shortly anyway, which has different categories of performance levels, whether it be communication with the department heads, with the employees, with the community as a whole, the role it plays, right down to financial management and all the rest. There's a whole set of, I don't know, what are they,
I think that'll be helpful to
You know,
him if
so
he gets it, 'cause I
that-
think that'll get what he's
And what
looking
it
for.
does is these tasks that he's put, what you call the project tasks that he's brought up this evening, dovetails rather nicely into his annual evaluation that he has and our expectations as to the role he's to play under the charter And to do
Steve.
so, I mean, you know, we're the board of directors, you know, we set policy and guidelines. He's the implementer, he's the executor.
Yeah.
That's his job. We hire him because of his professional knowledge and expertise in order to perform the functions that are necessary to make the town run efficiently and maximize the benefit to the taxpayers.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what we evaluate him on. And we attempt, and again, sometimes it's difficult for him because we do attempt to give him one clear message. We don't always succeed.
And this is where I'm having the disconnect.
We
You
don't-
keep saying you evaluate him on. I want to just read what you guys evaluate this guy, or what we
Okay.
evaluate
Well,
him.
send-
I don't know what that is.
Forward him, forward, and the.
That's what I brought up the last time we had the executive section discussion about his contract, which I think is a great contract. I'm very happy with it, but I said it has to tie to some goals. We had this conversation. It didn't seem like anybody in this room disagreed with me, excluding Greg, because you weren't involved. So I apologize that you kind of feel like you're outside in this conversation. But,
I am
Probably
very
where he
much
wants to be in
outside.
this one.
and,
Feel thankful.
no,
I-
Greg, I'm just trying to tie it all together.
Michael, I'm not offended at all.
Isn't
but-
anything
but-
about
but-
you,
But
it's
if
the
you,
process.
but if you look at town administrator goals that may exist elsewhere in the state of Massachusetts, this is not dissimilar to what you see. Nor if you look at the history of North Reading, these goals are not weird and out of the marks. So perhaps if you have a better idea, I'm more than willing to
No,
listen to it.
No,
Mike.
no, I think it's simple, it's very simple. Michael hasn't had the benefit of going through an evaluation of you. I think if he's provided that documentation of what we look at,
Yes,
I think that will assist him
thank you.
in showing him what your goals are and how we hold you to them. I think that's the missing piece. It's very simple. It's,
I guess,
in my
Michael,
opinion, that's
the way-
all we need to do.
the way I look at it, there's a job description. There's guidelines associated with the charter as the responsibility of the town administrator.
And I've read the job
Then
description.
there's objectives that the board has raised to a level of priority. In my speak of dealing with it, then a set of goals is set for the town administrator, right? That
that's what you-
ties in with our priorities, and that he executes above and beyond the day-to-day activities that he has to deal with.
Mhm.
Right. The job description deals with the day-to-day activities, right?
Yep.
Moving ahead requires certain new tasks to be done,
Yep,
right? That's what this is all about.
I understand
So
what
I
this
think
is
we're
all
just
about.
talking in two different languages.
We are, until we get to the point where you guys talk about, we have a contract, and then how we evaluate this guy and how well he's doing towards meeting that contract. When you guys talked about,
We evaluate
you
by
have this
how
eva-
well he accomplishes the objectives that we've laid out for him, or in other words, the goals. And how
when-
well he does his
Sean's right,
his
when you send me that
operational job.
information, maybe we'll all tie together for me.
And again, the only thing that maybe this is,
That's for your, that's what I've been referring to.
something such as, wastewater treatment, long-term projects and things of that nature, aren't necessarily in this tonight that you've
No.
included.
No, they're not, no.
But doesn't mean that they're not there either.
No, it's a living thing. I mean, things change, and I'm sure Greg will add to this. I'm sure Greg will subtract from this over the next year.
I don't think so. I'm
No,
quite
that's-
confident things will be thrown on his
That's
plate
the
in
way it
between, too.
works. But, I look at things slightly different for someone in an executive position of such as this, that you have some specific goals and objectives overall, which I've talked about, financial management, communication, operations. Those are important things, how do we run this company, or run this town.
Yeah, and
I just want to understand what that
And I think he
is.
addressed some of those tonight, in relation to whether his tickler file and the task scheduling, and how he's gonna get back to the board members specifically, and the department heads and everybody else, in relation to communicating a little bit better, and making sure
I heard the words, yeah,
Good.
I did, I
Okay,
heard him,
so-
I heard him say
so
it.
all come-
But again,
it's all there.
I'm reading it, and when I pick it up, key review of management positions, okay, employee benefit change, yeah, regionalize and share services, those are specific goals. Those are specific project goals, not Greg's overarching, how he gets evaluated every day. It's not a pass or fail for him, right? But if Greg decides that he doesn't want to communicate with this board anymore,
It'll be a
right.
pass or fail, I
Right.
guess.
but I'm just saying, isn't
For sure.
communication, isn't that a goal? Isn't that a goal that he should be with every senior executive? But how does he communicate? Maybe, I just want to know, what is your expectations about Greg, how he communicates with the Board of Selectmen? Greg, I don't know what that is.
Well, if I suggest if you have a discussion about that, if you put on the agenda, you give me an opportunity to do some preparation versus hitting me up over it this evening.
I'm
Mike.
not.
I don't think
I'm
he's
not-
hitting.
I
not-
think it's,
well,
I think
okay,
it's unfair for having